Hi, everyone. Is that better? Aha. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. We're actually trying out a new microphone, but I guess that didn't work. So back to the drawing board on that one. But thank you so much for joining us. I am super excited to have you here for this Sculptra webinar. I am super, super, super appreciative of you joining us because we put this together, within the last 14, 12 days. So we had a lot of interest and a lot of people tuning in. So thank you. And with that, we'll go ahead and get started. And thank you for telling me about the audio too. Should I take this off? Sure. Okay. Take off my mic here. Okay. So 1 second here. There we go. Okay. So I am really, really passionate about Sculptra. Sculptra has become a buzz in the aesthetic world. And that's because there is new research on this product. This product is actually not new. And so it has decades of experience behind it, and we know it's safe. And there's such a high patient satisfaction with it. So I am just really, really passionate about this product. And I'm really excited that there's a buzz. So, what is my Sculptra experience? I have been injecting Sculptra since I was in fellowship in 2008 and 2009. In 2009, it was FDA approved for cosmetic use. And so when I started private practice, I was fortunate enough to get even more training beyond my fellowship. And I've been injecting it in private practice since day one. Several years ago, about 3 years ago, I was approached by the company that owns Galderma and selected to be one of the few sites in the US to do this trial for them, this trial that you've seen we posted on our social media account. So we did this trial, which I couldn't have done without my amazing team at Investigate MD. And we were therefore instrumental in obtaining the new FDA indication for mixing and injecting Sculptra. So now that these results are out, it was published. They were published in a peer-reviewed journal article, and we are training others how to inject and mix Sculptra. Also, I am honored to be asked by the company to present these findings at a world-class international cosmetic meeting in Paris this year. So I'm really, really honored and excited about that. So at the bottom of the slide, you'll see the publication of this research trial that I was just talking about. And as I mentioned, I recently was invited to sit on a panel along with the other investigators at this event. So the company is now training the people who are going to be teaching the doctors to inject this. So it's called Train the Trainer. So I was fortunate enough to sit on this panel and answer questions and share my experience with Sculptra during this Train the Trainer event with Sculptra. And here's a photo from that session in Huntington Beach. Okay, so why Sculptra now? We talked a little bit about that. You're going to be hearing a lot more about Sculptra now that these results are out and that they're published. And additionally, we are doing another trial for Sculptra. So I can't talk in depth about that because it's not officially over, but we're doing another trial with Sculptra. I think they have several in the works too. So you're going to be hearing a lot more about Sculptra in the next few years. And the bottom line is patients love this product because the results look completely natural and it doesn't make patients look weird or funny, which is often a common concern when patients come in for treatment. So it makes us look like ourselves. and just super refreshed and ourselves about 5 or 10 years ago. Okay, before I go any further, I like to tell you these promos. So your gift for attending this seminar is to get some savings should you decide you want to try this treatment for yourself. So here are our promos for Sculptra, and we don't discount this product very often. So I do want you to know this is probably the only time this year that this product will be discounted. And also with this promo as being part of the webinar, you get access to special scheduling. So Alexis and Madeline, I know you're listening. We're going to be offering VIP scheduling for these patients who book. So you won't have to wait till midsummer to get this if you don't want to. You can book right away. And we can talk to you one-on-one about that. So this is these promos are limited to the first 12 people who attend. And another gift to you for attending, if you know someone, a best friend, a family member who would benefit, and you want to extend this promo to them, you can go ahead and do that. We just have a total of 12 promos. So thank you for attending. Also, everyone will be entered in an Elastin raffle. Elastin is a skincare line that has amazing research and data behind it. It's really effective at stimulating collagen. And you know I love products with research and data behind it. So these products are great. And one of you will win this raffle of skincare products. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. Sculptra is FDA approved, and it is not a filler, it's a biostimulator. So it's something that's injected and it stimulates collagen. In doing so, it restores some structure to the skin and it replaces some volume, and therefore it lifts and puts things back to where they used to be. As mentioned here, Sculptra has been FDA approved since 2004. 2004 is actually approved for patients with HIV who had HIV lipodystrophy and lipoatrophy. And then in 2009, it got FDA approved for cosmetic use. And before that, it was used in Europe. So this product has been safely used for over a course of decades. So how does this fit into the aging story? So as we age, we lose collagen. The skin also loses elasticity. With that, the moisture starts losing or starts diminishing in the skin. And so the skin eventually loses that healthy look, that glowing look, and then it starts getting lines and wrinkles and folds. So Sculptra is something that's called polyl-lactic acid, and that stimulates collagen production. So the collagen is important because it's a skin support structure. You can think of it as little springs in a mattress. And so over time, those springs get stretched out, they lose their recoil, and the new collagen that Sculptra produces is analogous to tight coil. So the coil is going to tighten the skin. It's going to result in the skin looking healthier, and it's going to result in volume restoration and more structure to the skin, more support to the skin. So think about all of our skincare products you're using. So if you guys go to Sephora, if you go to Ulta, if you go to CVS, Target, you get a skincare product. If it's anti-aging, you're going to look at it and it's going to say, will stimulate collagen. How do you know that's stimulating collagen? The answer is we don't know. So we do not know if it's stimulating collagen. We have no proof. We have no data those products are stimulating collagen. Now, the exception is if you come into our office, every product that we have here has evidence behind it in terms of topicals. But we know by injecting this poly-L-lactic acid, it's going to stimulate your collagen. It's going to do so much more efficiently than putting a cream on. And therefore, it's going to lift your face and it's going to turn back the hands of time by years. Okay, so bottom line is here. We just talked about collagen. We also get bone loss as time goes on and fat redistribution. What does that mean? The fat starts to sag. The little contours in our face are made up of strategically placed fat pads. So in our face, fat actually is not a bad thing. Fat is responsible for the apples of our cheeks. It's responsible for the softness of our face and the youthfulness of our face. When we lose it, when it falls, it ages us. And so the Sculptra will help put the fat back up where it used to be. It will help by adding volume and making it look a little bit softer on our face. And there is data that poly-L-lactic acid can actually slow down bone loss. So this is just an amazing product. Here are some graphs about the ages at which we lose collagen. So look at age 18 on the top left. Okay, have you ever seen an 18-year-old who looks bad? I haven't. Every 18-year-old I know is beautiful. So you can see 18-year-olds, you have 100% of your collagen, 0% collagen loss. At age 30, in my opinion, pretty much everyone is still looking amazing at age 30, but you can see 10% of your collagen, 1/10 of your collagen is already lost. And then at age 40, 20%. So 1/5 of your collagen is gone at age 40. For me, when I hit 40, I think it was a lot more because of all the stress of medical training and 3 kids. But luckily, I have lots of Sculptra in my face. So, and then at age 50, 30%, 1/3 of your collagen is gone. And if you do nothing, this will continue to progress, of course. But if you stop the hands of time by using Sculptra, you put the collagen back in, you slow down the aging process. And you do so in a way that's completely natural looking and safe. Okay, here's a little schematic about the skin and aging. You can see on the left, everything's soft. You see the cheek and the little fat pad is positioned up where the apple is. You can see the cheeks are prominent, the transitions are soft, there's support in the jawline. On the right, we lose the support, the skin starts sagging, the skin starts wrinkling. Okay, so how does it work? The poly-L-lactic acid stimulates your collagen. It takes a while. It is not instant. So it will take up to 6 months to see the full result. But the trade-off is it lasts a long time, anywhere from 2 to 5 years. And a lot of times when we're just getting started, especially if you just want to do Sculptra, we may do several sessions. I try to work the Sculptra into everyone's maintenance session. So hopefully, if a patient's willing, we might do 1 vial of Sculptra a year once we get to the point where we're ready for maintenance. Okay, here's a little cartoon about the color or the Sculptra being injected, and you can see underneath the skin there are those little pink squiggly lines. That is your collagen. So your collagen is supporting the skin. If those little lines get saggy and less firm, then the skin is going to get saggy and wrinkly and less firm. How does it differ than filler? How does it differ than Juvederm or Restylane or RHA, etc.? So those products I just mentioned, the fillers, are gels. They're gels made up of hyaluronic acid. They are fabulous products. We inject them every day. I have them in my own face, but they will wear off usually within 6 to 12 months. And there's some things they don't do, or it would take too much filler lots of times. It would become cost prohibitive to do the things that we can do with Sculptra. So they do actually work really well together. So there's some things that Sculptra can't do that the fillers can do and vice versa. So they're a great complement. And if you've had filler, you can still have Sculptra and vice versa. There are other uses for Sculptra. These are off-label uses, but we can use Sculptra for cellulite. We can use it for crepey, sagging skin. I just had a gentleman in a few weeks ago, and he is super, super young at heart. He's very athletic. He lifts weights. He was tired of looking at his tricep area and feeling like it was crepey. So we put some Sculptra in here, and he had amazing results. It's much more youthful looking. And when he's lifting weights, he's very happy with how it looks now. And let's see. Here we go. Here's some examples of areas we can inject Sculptra. So the area above the knees, the middle is the tricep area, and on the right is the cellulite. You can see on the backs of the thighs and the buttocks. And I've told you guys so many times, I would never offer anything to my patients that I wouldn't do myself. So I've actually had my upper knees treated with Sculptra, and I've had my buttocks treated with Sculptra, and I love it. Okay, so this is talking a little bit about injecting the buttock. That is fabulous, but most of the time we're injecting the face. But here's just an example of someone's buttock that we did. You can see less saggy, more lift. Okay, here's someone's abdomen. So for those patients who may have had children and now feel like their skin is a little bit crepey, we can tighten that skin, especially if patients tend to feel like the skin above the belly button is crepey. That is extremely easy to correct, or at least make significant improvement with Sculptra. Here's some before and afters. These are from the company. So this patient, she's young, she's 36. She had 4 vials of Sculptra. So they are often a little bit more aggressive than I am. Not that this is aggressive, but I'm just more conservative usually. But you can see this patient has a really soft result. She has less creases in the nasolabial fold. You can see her face is elevated, so she looks less heavy in her lower face on the right than she did in the left. Here's another company photo. So this patient was starting to look a little bit square. Her face had kind of like a square or a rectangle shape on the left in the before. On the right, it looks more oval or heart shape, and her face is just elevated. She just looks more youthful in general. Same thing with this patient. She's starting to look heavy. She's starting to get sagginess and lines in the lower face. In the upper face, on the right, most of the volume's in her upper face, and her skin is smoother and tighter. Okay, here are some of our patients. You can see this patient. Again, I tend to treat very, very conservatively, but you can see the skin tightening this patient got from Sculptra in the upper face, and even the lower face, there's much less volume of the jowls, and those lines are a lot softer there. Okay, here, a patient who was very, very beautiful to begin with, but we just wanted to lift her face. So again, just very, very conservative Sculptra to lift her face and to provide more support. And it looks completely natural. Same thing here, Sculptra before and after. You can see that the lines are much less. Her face is lifted. A little bit more subtle. But again, this patient was only treated with 1 vial. She's very young. She doesn't need much. This is great. If you think about those graphs I showed, where there's like 20% loss, 30% loss of collagen, it's a great time to start doing the Sculptra. So you just slow down the aging before it even happens. So it's more preventative. Same thing here. Face is lifted. She didn't need very much. Same thing here. Face is lifted, more sculpted, more youthful, less heavy on the bottom. and patients of all age can benefit from Sculptra. Okay, I hope this wasn't too lengthy of a slide presentation. And I see that there are questions. So we will address those probably when I'm doing the live demonstration. If you would like to take advantage of the promo, here are the instructions. And I encourage you to consider it because this product is really great for everyone. So we're going to do our live demo next, and we're going to pause for 1 second to get set up. I will be back momentarily. I'm going to have you hand her the mirror in a second when I... All right. Okay, guys, can you hear me? Let's see, what are they saying? Can they hear us? All right, awesome. Okay, so this is beautiful Jenna. She is our practice manager and head of research and head of business development. So she has a lot of roles, and we're trying not to age her too quickly here. So she loves Sculptra. You may have remembered she's been injected on camera before. Jenna, what is it about Sculptra that you like?
I think it's amazing. Just, it helps with skin texture. From what I've noticed, I have some acne scarring and just gives me more volume. I have a very thin face, and I feel like it just really fills me out. And then the skin texture, I love it. It's my favorite.
Awesome. It's my favorite too. Okay, so Brittany, if you can hand Jenna the mirror. And so what are you thinking like we need today? This is kind of our maintenance treatment.
I just see a lot of hollowness here, which is my main concern. And then it's kind of, I'm starting to develop jowls.
Okay. So jowls are something you can see she really has no jowls, but jowls are something that we can treat and prevent with Sculptra. So this is where we typically get jowls. If I add just a little bit of structure here, not enough to make her super full in the face, but just enough so it's structure, I start pulling up like this. If I add a little support to her jawline to prevent that bone loss, I am going to pull back like this. So you can see how that addresses the jowls. Pull up, pull back. That will even help the marionettes. Then one of the strategies I do, again, for more prevention, I can put something right, or I can put the Sculptra right here. That's called the piriform aperture. And you can see when I do that, it lifts her lip. So this lip gets longer over time in everybody. And so when I put this here, put the Sculptra here, it's going to lift the lip. It's going to support her cheek. It's going to help her nasolabial folds. So, and then when she smiles, this is what patients don't like. When she smiles, she barely has anything here because she's done lots of Sculptra and she's just beautiful anyway. But people don't like this crepiness. And so what this will do
is prevent any sort of crepiness there, accordion-like changes there when patients smile. So she's already been cleansed, but I'm just like to do it one more time because we're a little OCD about cleanliness here. Okay, turn towards me. So she has been prepped, no makeup, cleansed with alcohol, then HIBA-Cleanse, which is a surgical prep. Additionally, I have injected a little bit of lidocaine into the areas, so that makes the Sculptra super, super easy for the patients. All right. And I'm going to just tilt the bed back a little bit. Can I get a glass too? All right. So the Sculptra is a watery material. And so it's very easy for the patient. It has lidocaine in it. And like I said, I already injected a little bit of lidocaine. Brittany's helping me with a light that helps avoid blood vessels, so there's less chance of bruising. And then the Sculptra is just going to go in, and we're going to give her some structure here. This is going to help both the texture and give her support to lift from the jowl area. I'll say jowl area because she doesn't really have jowls, but we're preventing them. Now, if someone does have jowls, no problem. I can still work on them. Sculptra really works for nearly everyone out there. There's rarely a patient who's not a Sculptra candidate. Heather, do we have any questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Can this be used for deep creases along the sides of the nose, exactly where the side of the nose meets the cheek?
Yes, it is great for that. I think you're referring to the nasolabial fold. And that actually was where the study was focusing on, the study that was recently published that we performed. That's where we did the study. So we did the study, Jenna, if you could look forward, we did the study right in here, and it was amazing. Patients looked so great afterwards. Their cheeks had more support, and this line was less. It was really awesome. Just by doing it, and in the study, we were only allowed to do that line, and it was amazing how the entire face transformed just by doing that line. Okay, what else?
Can the lines around the lips be done?
For that one, no. We don't do Sculptra wherever there is a superficial muscle. And so that's one of the areas we actually don't do the Sculptra. But I do have several things that work beautifully in that area. So I use a filler, one of several fillers for that area. One of them would be Bellatero. Light, please. And another one I love to use in that area is RHA2. Both of those are super soft, natural looking. It will not give you duck lips. It will not change the actual size of your lips if we don't want to fill the lips. So we have lots of options with those. Light, please. Great. Great. Okay, amazing. You're doing so great. You feel okay?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
How
Okay, look
often
forward.
do you need to get injections?
Usually what we do is at least once a year just to maintain, because of course we're aging at the same time. Can you turn forward a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
But initially, hold pressure here, we may do a couple 2-3 treatments initially to get to the point where we're happy with how things are looking. And then we go to maintenance mode. So it really depends on someone's age, how they've aged, what our goals are, what their budget is, et cetera. And we can work with all of that. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Can Sculptra result in lumps?
It can. Knock on wood. I have not seen it in our patients. And that's because of the way we mix the product and the way that we inject conservatively. So conservative product or conservative injection is one key to avoiding lumps. And then the way that we mix the product, which is, again, what was published in this most recent study, is really preventative of the lumps. And in the study, there was only one patient who had a mild lump, and it resolved during the study. So it's very uncommon, but technically can occur. If it does occur, their lumps are temporary, and we have protocols in place that we can treat them with. And they tend to be non-visible. They tend to be under the skin. Good job.
How long should you wait in between getting Sculptra and something like microneedling or Clear and Brilliant?
I usually recommend waiting about a couple weeks between this and other treatments. It's arbitrary, but we usually allow the body to kind of settle in with the treatment. And like the little tiny needle marks that I'm making, we want to allow for those to heal up in between. Sorry, Jenna. Ooh, hit a sensitive spot. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Sorry. Okay, I think we might be done on this side. Perfect. How do you feel?
Great.
Okay, you want to look up. Okay, don't have any expression so we can see. Okay, so you can see her cheek perked up her cheek perked up really nicely with just a little bit of Sculptra in here. I gave her support here, so the lip is going to pull up like that. This fold is going to be less. You can see it already is from the other side. Her jawline is supported. And then I soften this, so we're not making her look super full. We're making her look really soft and youthful. And turn straight again so I can see you. Yes, so you can see her face looks lifted on the right and just not quite as lifted on the left. You can see this is less heavy than this area. And that will continue to improve over time. Right now we've got redness, we've got swelling. This will all get better over time, but you can see even how her face is just more contoured here. You know, it doesn't look as, you know, here it's starting to get a little bit flat. Here it looks beautiful and contoured. She doesn't even have to contour with makeup. It's all natural there. Can you guys see that? Awesome. Looks like we got a yes. Okay, cool. All right, so I'll inject the rest off camera, but you can see it's fairly straightforward. Jenna, any issues with that? How did it feel?
It feels great. Yeah, I didn't feel anything.
Awesome, except for that one spot.
One spot,
One spot.
very numb.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Again, this product works for everyone. I have it in my own face and body, and many people in our office do. So please let us know if you have any questions. Again, thank you for your time, for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.